Welcome to my YouTube channel Marketing 5.0. Thanks much for continuously watching my videos and subscribing to my channel and sharing with your network. And with your valuable comments, motivation and inputs, so far we released 10 series. And we started a new series on marketing by research. So the whole idea of this series is to sensitize the usage of academic research in the industry and the practicing managers. But normally there is the kind of understanding that industry normally, the academic research may not be useful for industry or practicing managers. To demystify that myth, we just started this series on marketing and research, where we are releasing videos of academic research, how the academic research can be useful for industry and practicing managers. So in this series, we started the video series of smartphone research series, which we started in 2011. It's a kind of a continuing research we are doing on smartphones because so that was a time when smartphone started becoming more evident and people started using. So smartphone also evolved over a period of time. So our research also evolved. We started with to find the response behavior of consumers towards SMS promotion. Mobile promotion, we published a paper with International Journal of Mobile Communications. It's a Web of Sciences paper, journal, and the next one usage. So why consumers want to use smartphones? So we tested with different variables, including demographic, cultural, social, and psychological uh, and usage. So we found the most of the users they wanted to use smartphone for usage. Then we published in International Journal of Mobile Learning Organization, is another journal. Then we conducted study on to find the influence of the gender, male and female, of using smartphones through adopting technology adoption model, TAM model. The smartphone is a new technology, focusing on two primary variables of the particular model: perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. And we found our results, about the male users found the perceived ease of use, and female users actually they do not find any of the use of using smartphones, neither perceived usefulness or perceived ease of use. In this line, we went for actually taking a cue from our usage patterns. We found from our study, and people like to use smartphone for usage patterns. So we wanted to just see that actually, like how we can categorize the usage. So people use smartphones for different purposes. So we defined three primary purposes of using smartphones. One is they use smartphones for personal use, and the other one the people use for the professional use and for the social use. So we defined aspects like personal means they use for developing themselves and only focus on the personal centric usage of smartphones. And professional, the primarily they use more of smartphones for the professional development, work, business, learning, targeting towards the professional growth. And the third one is social. So connecting, networking among the friends, the professional networking. So all these aspects actually, it's about the social. So when we define this different the usage patterns, but we also are very curious that actually how this usage pattern works among different age groups. So the smartphones are used by the different age groups, right from the young people to the old people. But we wanted to see that like how these different usages, like focus on the different age groups. We want to identify that. So that is how we started the study, and we conducted the study in India. Around 150 users, smartphone users in Bangalore, which is one of the leading tech savvy city where the people, most of them are tech savvy, they were working. And we found from our study, and we published this paper in International Journal of Business Excellence, one of the top journal. Our research, this is the one actually what you will see here. So it's a volume 21 3 2020 we published. So this is our study. The title you can see here. It is investigating the relationship between age and smartphone usage patterns and lessons from Indian smartphone users. So I and other two co-authors from India, we did the study. Look at the outcomes we got actually. So our study primarily we wanted to create a new usage patterns, like new categories like the professional, social, and personal centric usage, and we tested this among the different age groups. We selected young, middle, and old age groups, and we collected this data from 150 smartphone users belong to different age groups, and we found the results like all the age groups they wanted to use smartphones for the personal usage. So that is the primarily usage of smartphones. So whoever is using, they want to use smartphones for the primary usage for a personal purpose. But we further probed actually to find out like which age group is using for different purposes. We found young age group members, mostly below 30 years of age. They want to use smartphones for professional usage. So they want to use smartphone primarily for the professional growth or development. That means 60 to 70% of the smartphone usage focus on a particular category. Whereas middle age group and old age group primarily focus on using smartphones for social and the personal usage. This is what we found out from our study. And we used structural equation modeling by using smart PLS, and we found out the results. But ultimately, we find from our study the young users primarily want to use for professional development. But when middle-age group, if you go in for, they want to use more for social, connecting with others, networking, because they already achieved a certain stage in their professional aspects. So they want to grow the focus and networking, social, those kind of thing. And when you look at the people, the old people, like that is the old age group, which is so those age group normally focus on they want to use primarily for the personal usage because they achieved everything with professional social. So they are focusing, like it's kind of inward approach. So this is the very important study we conducted, and we found the different usage of smartphones, and we tested among different age groups. And we are very happy to see that this paper are getting cited by different researchers, and it's a kind of a seminal paper we created, the usage patterns. But looking at the use of this paper for the practicing managers, especially the companies which are producing mobile phones. See, all the companies are launching mobile phones because they are not targeting for a different age groups. But we found mobile phones is meant for separate use like gaming. So there are mobile phones which is launched primarily for game users, uh, those kind of a thing. But there is no actually mobile phone focused on, the launched based on the the usage patterns like we define here, personal usage or social or the professional. So those are the things which actually we wanted to, that way the mobile phones, the companies can just come out of the glut which already they are facing because they reached a point of saturation. And, there is a kind of an innovation they need to do it because mostly if you look at the mobile phone companies are using the innovation which is external in nature. So recently Samsung phone launched the foldable phones or flip phones, so those kind of a thing. But they're not focusing on the usage patterns of consumers, especially looking at the different usage patterns that they can come out of tools which will help the consumers to use it. So already Samsung has a Note which has got a stylus pen and primarily looking for people those who want to use for that. But it is not clearly defined for the particular segment of consumers who want to use for it. So if the practicing managers or mobile phone companies can make use of our paper, and this will give a more idea of developing tools, like so for example Samsung and Apple, so they can develop the specific tools which is primarily focusing on the consumers those who want to use for a professional purpose, social purpose, or a personal purpose. So in that way, they can focus on a different segment of consumers, and the the growth of the phones also actually can be redefined. So this is the whole idea of our paper and how our paper can be useful for the practicing managers. So we not stopped our research. So as you see, the smartphone research we started in 2011 and it's 2022. So far, we released the four papers. It's a kind of continuing research, as you see here, and how this each research can be useful for the practicing managers. And we are still continuing our research, and we are working on the other aspects of smartphone, and which you will be soon. We are looking to publish in leading journals. So this is how you see how the academic research can be used for the practicing managers or industry and how it adds value to their thing. So we really agree that action research is very important, but the academic research also can be useful for the industry and practicing managers. So this is one of the examples you can see that. So once again, thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel Marketing 5.4 and sharing with your network and for your valuable input. So please stay tuned for more videos in this regard. So because if you look at actually how we do research. So we don't normally do a very standalone research. We take a topic or trending theme. We just want to continue the particular theme. We do a kind of an in-depth research or continuous research over a period of time, and we publish the papers, which are primarily focusing and aiming to help the academia and the practicing manager. So that is the goal of most of our research we involve in. So once again, thank you very much for watching our videos and please share your valuable inputs and which motivates us to come out of more videos in the future.